into turn number 3. Can he take second place for Dams? Dams versus MP, Sette Camara versus King, and the Brazilian driver easily takes second place.
And it's really interesting to see Schumacher's up to 11th, starting from 18th. He's made some good progress towards the back of the grid, and he'll be looking to see this fight ahead and pick on to get onto the end of it and make some places up.
King going down to 4th place. Guan Yu Zhou already has 3 podiums to his name so far this year, and he manages to get through. So a good move for him. King going backwards. Remember, he was in 8th position yesterday. Strong run through the field. And Giuliano Alesi is our first retirement today. He is out of the race.
A real shame to see him retire so early on. As a racing driver, you always just want to be in with a chance and in with a fight, and he's obviously lost that opportunity now.
And that was him losing it. Wonder if he had a puncher before he got there. Looked like he was losing the rear well into the corner. So lap number 6 as they come across the line. Delatraz, Sette Camara, then Zhou, King. Giotto is the next driver to try and challenge Jordan King. That's the yellow car attacking the orange and white car. Right now that's for 4th position. Sette Camara though really putting pressure on Delatraz for the lead of the race. He would be the 4th different leader today.
Well, we saw Sette Camara at the fastest lap in yesterday's race. He had really strong pace, and he's taking the lead up into turn 3 now.
Great move from Sergio Sette Camara. A bit of a nightmare for him yesterday when he hit his teammate at that corner. Today he's going through and taking first position, checking the mirrors. And can Delatraz come back? He'll want to come back immediately as they go into the braking zone at turn number 4. And it's just a case of hugging to that inside line. You need the traction, and I don't think Delatraz is going to have it. He has another change of lead. 4 different leaders in 7 laps.
This race has been crazy so far. Louis being in the lead, Sette Camara, Jordan King, Nick De Vries. There's been so many different leaders already. Let's see how Delatraz holds on in this middle sector. This is the point in the lap where following a car closely can really affect the tyres a lot, and it's hard to keep in that DRS zone.
So Rosanna has made her way down to ART after we've seen a problem for Nick De Vries.
Yeah, Alex, quite a crazy one. It seems that the pit limiter came on for Nick De Vries, and the team aren't sure whether he pressed it or whether it just switched on it by itself. So very frustrating for Nick De Vries, and hopefully he can find his way back up the grid quickly.
That would be so annoying for Nick De Vries if he didn't switch on the pit limiter. That is what delayed him then coming out of turn number 4. It looked to be a race that he, once again, like yesterday, had control in, and he's got to do it all again. The 2 championship rivals, De Vries and Giotto, about to go wheel to wheel. And you're right about the progress of Schumacher, Billy. He is now making his way through the field, putting pressure on Nicholas Latifi and taking 9th position. He was a 2-time winner here in Formula 3 1 year ago. It's a circuit that he loves. He was 2nd in the 3rd race that weekend. Schumacher roaring through from 18th on the grid. He's
really doing a great and really impressive job of making up 9 positions in 8.5 laps. It's pretty incredible, and he's still close to the leader. The pack this race so far, it's only 4 seconds down to 10th place, just over 4 seconds, so they're staying tight together.
So this was the move at the top of the hill, Latifi having to open the door. And Billy, you've raced with him in go-karts all the way back. Difficult to come into this level of the championship with all that surname pressure, but after a tough few races, he's only 1 place away from getting in the points. It'll be the first time in 6 races that he'd been in the points.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I mean, coming from FIA Formula 3 last year, which doesn't obviously run the Pirellis, the biggest learning curve, I think, for all these new rookies coming into this grid is to learn that Pirelli rubber and how you use it and how you hold on to the performance for as long as possible. You can see yesterday De Vries, who's an experienced driver, even missing out on that.
Yeah, De Vries being caught unawares, thought he was managing the tyres and then going off the cliff, caught and passed in the end by 3 drivers, but he did finish 3rd on the podium after a penalty for Sette Camara. This race absolutely in the balance. Got to look after the got to look after the soft medium Pirelli tyres. Guan Yu Zhou leading the 2 Univirtuosis down the hill. He's in 3rd at the moment. Remember, has not stood on the top step of the podium, but he is the lead rookie driver in the championship at the moment, and he's leading his teammate Luca Giotto, saying yesterday it was the best champagne he'd ever tasted. He hadn't scored points for 4 races. He needed a result to get up to 2nd. Yesterday that was to re-establish himself in the championship battle. He's ahead of De Vries. De Vries will want to get his rival back. He has the bonus points for fastest lap at the moment. King has dropped down to 6th position, and then Aitken and Hubert, the last of the points scorers. Aitken has made his way through from 10th up to 7th place. The big mover though, Mick Schumacher, who is just 1 place away from ending that run of pointless races.
it'll be really interesting to see how his progress continues. The race seems to have settled down now after about 10 laps. People are now thinking about managing elements like their tyres and stuff like this, and it's going to play a part and see how the race develops later on when they then start to attack again.
So Sergio Sette Camara trying to get rid of this irritating stat of having not won a race since 2017 in FIA Formula 2. Is this the day? Well, if it is the day, it's not going to be very comfortable. Just half a second in it for the lead. Now Aitken about to pressure Jordan King. We're on board with the Campos driver, coming down from about 180 miles an hour here into the braking zone of turn number 4.
It's a really tricky corner turn 4. It's off camber. You've got to get down to the apex really early, and we saw on lap 1 it's easy to try and go around the outside there and then run out of road on the exit where the racing line moves out quite early on.
Aitken having trouble off the start line yesterday. That meant that he had to recover even more places after a difficult qualifying, and he is another driver trying to at least rescue some points. He started the weekend in 3rd position. Let's hear from Joe on the radio.
Front's not looking healthy for anyone.
So you're going to have to look after the tyres, and that is perhaps why we are so close at the field. And we've got 11 laps completed. One retirement so far is Giuliano Alesi, and we can hear more about Giuliano from Rosanna in the pits.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, I just had a quick chat with the team manager down at Trident, Giacomo Ricci, and he said there was actually collision between Callum Ilott and Giuliano, and that led to the puncture and, of course, to Giuliano's retirement.
So it was a puncher for Giuliano Alesi, and a scary moment, I imagine, when you're scrubbing off the speed down there at turn 4. Disappointment for him. Callum Ilott, another driver that you've raced with, Billy, coming through the ranks.
Yeah, I've raced against him for many years now. When we were kids, when 8-9 years old, and I know Callum's talent, and it's a shame that he's obviously had that accident with Giuliano and giving him the puncture. It looks like it may have damaged his car. He's down in 17th place at the minute.
Yeah, the driver that had so much pace 1 week ago in France wasn't able to take advantage. Remember, he's been on the front row in Monaco earlier this year, so a lot of pace there to be extracted. His teammate has been a 2-time podium finisher. He has been on the rostrum on 1 occasion in the second race in Barcelona. 0.8 of a second for the race lead. Joe and Giotto being told to look after the tyres, and De Vries trying to recover after dropping down from the race lead to what was 6th position at the time. He's made 1 place back. Jordan King doesn't appear to have the pace at the moment. You can see the graining on his front right tyre.
He must feel really frustrated at the minute, Nick De Vries. I mean, after making such good progress in the first few laps, the race seems to have settled down, and obviously he's now dropped back to 5th position. He's still got a lot of work to do. Luca Giotto, in his championship rival, is in 4th place, gaining more points back on him.
Schumacher, will he have a run on Hubert? The 2 rookies going wheel to wheel at the top of the hill, but Hubert barging Aitken out of the way to open the door with the driver we're on board with right now. So Hubert up to 7th place in a pretty rude way as well, barging through, Aitken down to 8th, and Schumacher putting pressure on the pair of them. He's made contact into the back of him, and that will allow Schumacher to go past both of them. Surely no, just one. Aitken damages his front wing and goes off the road, not happy to be barged out of the way, and his race is ruined after contact to the front wing. Hubert will be lucky to get away with a puncher there. He seems to be all right at the moment, but dramatic stuff there as Aitken drops out of the points.
Well, you know what they say, the best form of attack is best form of defence is attack, and that's what Aitken tried to do here to make the position back on Hubert, and just mistimed this movement out to the outside of the line and just clipped the back of Anton Hubert's car.
So disappointment for Aitken. It's been that sort of weekend for the Anglo-Korean driver. Looked for the inside line, realised it wasn't there, moved back too late, as you say, Billy, and that is the end of his sprint race in terms of scoring points.
And Mick Schumacher now, like you say, he's moved in 8th position points, and he's going to be right on the back of Anton Hubert. It'll be interesting to see if Anton has got any damage to the back of his car from that incident earlier.
Let's find out then. Here we go, side by side to the top of the hill, and Schumacher going around the outside and improving to 7th. Hubert will try and fight back, but he can't, and it's Schumacher improving even further. A reminder, Mick Schumacher started this race in 18th position. What a performance through the field for him.
He's made such good progress, and the only thing that worries me slightly is now that he's going to be out of the DRS zone to Jordan King after having all that fighting with Anton Hubert and Jack Aitken.
Okay, we're seeing an Arden being passed there, down to 8th position, Hubert, but Rosanna can tell us what we've got down there in the pit lane.
Thanks, Alex. I had a quick chat with Kenny Kerwin, the team principal of BWT Arden, and I asked if there's any damage on Antoine Hubert's car.